The Flat Earth Myth, a historical misconception. For centuries, the belief that the Earth is flat has been dismissed as an outdated and unscientific idea. However, many people today are surprised to learn that the notion of a flat Earth was largely abandoned by educated individuals long before the advent of modern science. The persistent myth that medieval Europeans believed in a flat Earth is itself a relatively modern invention, popularized by a combination of historical misunderstandings, ideological battles, and cultural misrepresentations. We will explore the origins of the flat Earth myth, examine how and why it became associated with the Middle Ages, and discuss the resurgence of flat Earth beliefs in contemporary society. Ancient beliefs about the shape of the Earth. Early conceptions of the Earth. The idea of a flat Earth is not unique to any one culture or time period. Many ancient civilizations, including the Egyptians, Mesopotamians, and early Greeks, held a flat Earth view. These early conceptions were largely based on everyday observations. After all, the ground beneath our feet appears flat, and in a world without global travel or satellite imagery, the idea of a flat Earth was a logical assumption. In Mesopotamian cosmology, for example, the Earth was often depicted as a flat disk floating on a primordial ocean with a solid sky above. Similar ideas can be found in ancient Egyptian beliefs, where the Earth was envisioned as a flat plain supported by mountains, with the sky held up by a giant, godlike figure. Greek contributions to spherical Earth theory. However, as early as the 6th century BCE, Greek philosophers began to propose that the Earth might be spherical. Pythagoras, one of the first to suggest this idea, reasoned that the sphere was the most perfect shape and that celestial bodies, including the Earth, must therefore be spherical. His ideas were further developed by later Greek thinkers, most notably Aristotle and Eratosthenes. Aristotle, 384–322 BCE in particular, provided several arguments for a spherical Earth. He noted that during a lunar eclipse, the Earth's shadow on the moon is always round, which would only be possible if the Earth were spherical. Additionally, Aristotle observed that travelers moving southward would see stars that were not visible in the northern regions, suggesting that the Earth's surface curves as one moves away from the equator. Perhaps the most remarkable contribution came from Eratosthenes, 276–194 BCE, who not only supported the idea of a spherical Earth, but also calculated its circumference with astonishing accuracy. By measuring the angles of shadows cast at different locations, Eratosthenes estimated the Earth's circumference to be about 40,000 kilometers, remarkably close to the actual value. The Middle Ages. Misconceptions and reality. Medieval understanding of the Earth's shape. Contrary to popular belief, educated people in the Middle Ages did not generally believe that the Earth was flat. By the time of the Roman Empire, the idea of a spherical Earth was widely accepted among scholars. This knowledge was preserved and transmitted through the medieval period by Christian, Islamic, and Jewish scholars. One of the most influential medieval works on cosmology was the Etymologiae by Isidore of Seville, c. 500 and 6636 CE. While Isidore's work contains a mixture of accurate information and outdated ideas, he describes the Earth as being round, using the term orbis terrarum, circle of lands, to describe it. Similarly, the De Natura Rerum by the Venerable Bede, 672–735 CE, also affirms the Earth's sphericity. Additionally, the spherical Earth was depicted in medieval art and literature. Maps from this period, known as TO maps, often depicted the Earth as a circular disk, not because they reflected a belief in a flat Earth, but because they were symbolic representations of the known world, with Jerusalem at the center. These maps were not intended to be accurate depictions of the Earth's physical form, but rather theological illustrations. The role of the Church. A common misconception is that the medieval Christian Church promoted the idea of a flat Earth. In reality, most church scholars accepted the Earth's sphericity. The works of ancient Greek philosophers, including Aristotle, were incorporated into Christian thought, particularly through the writings of Thomas Aquinas, 1225-1274, who sought to harmonize Christian doctrine with Aristotelian philosophy. The notion that the Church suppressed spherical Earth theory likely stems from later conflicts between science and religion, particularly during the Renaissance and Enlightenment periods. These conflicts were often retroactively applied to the Middle Ages, creating the false impression that medieval society was dominated by flat Earth beliefs. The modern invention of the flat Earth myth, Washington Irving and the legend of Columbus. The flat Earth myth, as it relates to medieval Europe, gained significant traction in the 19th century. One of the key figures in popularizing this misconception was the American writer Washington Irving. In his 1828 biography, A History of the Life and Voyages of Christopher Columbus, Irving portrayed Columbus as a lone visionary struggling against the dogmatic belief of a flat Earth held by the Church and his contemporaries. According to Irving's narrative, Columbus's voyage was nearly halted by superstitious and fearful advisors who believed he would sail off the edge of the world. This dramatic story was compelling, but it was entirely fictional. In reality, the educated Europeans of Columbus's time knew the Earth was a sphere. The debate was not about the Earth's shape, but rather about the size of the Earth and the feasibility of reaching Asia by sailing westward. Irving's romanticized account of Columbus was widely read and had a profound influence on the popular imagination. It helped cement the idea that the medieval period was a time of ignorance and superstition, a dark age where flat Earth beliefs were widespread. The role of 19th century historians. The flat Earth myth was further propagated by 19th century historians such as John William Draper and Andrew Dixon White, who were eager to portray the history of science as a struggle between progressive scientific thinkers and a regressive dogmatic church. Draper's History of the Conflict Between Religion and Science, 1874, and White's A History of the Warfare of Science with Theology in Christendom, 1896, both depicted the Middle Ages as a period dominated by irrational beliefs, including the flat Earth theory. Draper and White's works were influential in shaping the narrative of a warfare between science and religion, a narrative that has since been challenged by more recent historians. Nevertheless, their portrayal of the Middle Ages as a time of flat Earth belief became deeply ingrained in popular culture and education. The persistence of the flat Earth myth in modern times. The rise of the Flat Earth Society. While the flat Earth myth was largely debunked by the early 20th century, it experienced a curious resurgence in the mid-20th century with the formation of the Flat Earth Society. Founded by Samuel Shenton in 1956, the society argued against the overwhelming scientific evidence for a spherical Earth, promoting the idea that the Earth is flat and that global institutions were perpetuating a round-Earth conspiracy. Shenton's Flat Earth Society attracted a small but dedicated following, and although it was often dismissed as a fringe group, it managed to keep the flat Earth idea in the public consciousness. The society gained new life in the internet age, where misinformation can spread quickly and widely. Flat Earth beliefs in the digital age. In the 21st century, flat Earth beliefs have found a new platform on social media, where they have been amplified by conspiracy theorists and online communities. Flat Earth videos on platforms like YouTube have garnered millions of views, and online forums dedicated to flat Earth discussions have attracted thousands of members. This resurgence can be seen as part of a broader trend of skepticism towards scientific consensus and authoritative knowledge. Flat Earth believers often claim that evidence of a spherical Earth, including photographs from space and satellite data, is fabricated by a global conspiracy involving governments, scientists, and the media. The modern Flat Earth movement has been fueled by a combination of distrust in institutions, the allure of conspiracy theories, and the echo chamber effect of social media. Despite the overwhelming scientific evidence to the contrary, Flat Earth beliefs persist as a form of countercultural expression and a challenge to mainstream narratives. Conclusion: debunking the myth. The idea that medieval Europeans believed in a flat Earth is a myth, one that was largely created in the 19th century and has been perpetuated by popular culture. In reality, the concept of a spherical Earth has been widely accepted by educated people since antiquity, and the Middle Ages were no exception. The persistence of the flat Earth myth serves as a reminder of how historical misconceptions can take on a life of their own, shaping our understanding of the past in ways that are not always accurate. It also highlights the importance of critical thinking and the need to question the sources and motivations behind the stories we are told. In the end, the flat Earth myth tells us more about the times in which it was popularized than about the actual beliefs of medieval people. It reflects the 19th century desire to portray the Middle Ages as a dark and ignorant period, contrasting sharply with the perceived enlightenment of modernity. As we continue to explore and reinterpret history, it is crucial to separate fact from fiction and to recognize that even the most widely accepted historical narratives may not always be true.